Not nice.
I'm kind. I choose to treat people well, but I have boundaries that I'm gonna defend with my life. Like, and those boundaries allow me to be sane in amongst all kind of energies and stuff, you know. And so kindness is an awareness that it's all kind of energies, but still choosing to present what you want to, you know, who you want to be known as. Niceness is allowing those energies to impede upon your space. And it's like, no, we got this good little bubble right here.
You are now watching But First Coffee.
What's going on? This is D Smoke from Inglewood, California, and I am on But First Coffee. Tune in.
What's up? Welcome to VT Studios. Come on in.
This part of the space I call the Serena. This is the main room I utilize the most for guests. It includes a half bathroom and an optional kitchen space. I wanted to complement the exposed concrete in the space, so I chose a minimalist approach using natural elements like wood, stone, and moss. Some of my proudest work. Smart home technology allows you to get creative with lighting for your video productions, curated events, and live shows. Once you're in this part of the space, you truly can't help but submit to the creative possibility. Welcome to the Serena.
So why music?
So why music? So my father was a huge influence. He was an old singer, a platter. But in truth, from what I can remember, music really chose me. I just always have loved the arts. You know what I mean? I love being expressive. I feel like music, not to sound cliche, it really is a universal language.
I grew up in a household with music. My mother had records on records on records. So I used to listen to Etta James. Dinah Washington was one of my favorites. Betty Wright was a favorite of mine. It was because of her story. She used to tell these stories. And it's crazy, when I started adapting my own music, I started telling stories like Betty Wright, like even talking on the stage, like and talking how she did. And so I started studying. So all of those, Jill Scott to Erykah Badu's, and it was like a melting pot of all these amazing women. And then I just started having my own sound.
The one thing that I've really been blessed to be around has been great artists. And why I love it is I've been around artists that actually appreciate the not just the musician, but just the craft of just creating the music, just the sonically creating it, or even the show. So like all that right there is why I love it. And then also it's the interaction with the crowd, you know, and the interaction with so it's like just that energy and that like being able to be in that space is unlike anything other.
The first thing I noticed on your Fab Finance website was, what is your money story? So what is your money story? Because you have been building and building this brand, and we would like to know.
Yeah, my Fab Finance is 10 years old. It's crazy to think that I've been teaching people about financial education for 10 years. But my money story started out with, well, it's my Fab Finance for a reason. We don't believe in deprivation as a financial freedom strategy. So like, I was like, there has to be a way for me to improve my finances without me like dumpster diving and thrifting and all these other things that everyone says you have to do in order to become financially secure. But I came to my money story because I grew up in Oklahoma City, and I was often the only black child in my class. And one of the things I would do as a child was like, I would try to buy acceptance of my classmates, or like buy my way into their little circles. And so that continued as I became an adult, and I realized that I was spending money and buying things to feel better about myself instead of spending money on things that were important to me financially, would help me move my goals forward. So that's my money story. It's something I work on every day. I'd be like, oh, this is cute. Let me buy this. It's something I work on every day, but I think that makes me an even better financial educator, because I'm not someone who's naturally a minimalist. I'm not someone who is super stingy when it comes to their money. I'm someone who has to create boundaries around what I do with my money so that I can make better financial choices. And it's paid off, and it's allowed me to help other people do the same.
I mean, to be honest, photography really just kind of fell in my lap. When I initially bought my camera, it was back when I had my own digital marketing agency. I would pretty much help business owners create a digital footprint online. So I would basically start off with their logo design.
Got it.
Then from there, I would create their websites and then social media. The issue with the websites was when I was building them out, I could flip them out in like 2 days, but it would take them forever to give me the photos. And then as you know,
what is this?
That's what I'm saying. Most business owners, they giving me iPhone pictures, like they super pixelated. And the people that I was serving, of course, was in the Black community. And as you know, stock imagery is not diverse at all. It's hard to find good imagery of like Black people on stock photography. So I was like, let me go ahead and just buy my own camera so I can get to the bag quicker. But long story short, I bought the camera and it collected dust. You know how that. I feel like, to be honest, when it comes to creatives, like you either got it or you don't. Like I know for me, like when I first started, people are like, damn, like 6 months in, I'm already shooting better than people who've had a camera in their hand for 10 years.
Because you have the artistic eye for it.
That's the thing. So even, you know, with the rise of AI, with the how camera phones are getting better, like it's great. Like you can get this black magic camera, but if you don't know how to use it, it's not worth nothing. You know what I mean? So at the end of the day, nobody can steal my eye. I think as a creative, that's what sets you apart, is your perspective and your eye. Like nobody can take that away from you.
Actually stand on 4 pillars. We do counseling, career services, we have connections, and we do community service. One of our biggest things that I really love is we have a MVP program where we talk about money, vision, and purpose.
Oh, I like that MVP.
So we're preparing the mind for a transition of identity. It's the biggest issue as an athlete. If you think about it, an athlete, if he walked through the door, you can know immediately they play some sport.
Right, it's the confidence that's built behind.
And the size.
Yeah, size.
Because you think about, like me in my normal everyday life, I'm short.
Right.
My friends, I'm short. I just left my house. My friends are 6'8", 6'9", 7 feet.
Okay.
When I come back, when I come back and I'm in the real world, it's like, oh, you're so tall. You must have played basketball. And as an athlete, that's a stigma. We hate that.
That you have to be tall.
We want people to see us for us. Like, oh, that's such and such. He does this, and this. Not
Got you. Okay.
He's an athlete, because you grow up with that idea. What they call dumb jocks all the time.
Yeah, I don't know who made that up. Probably somebody jealous. Yeah.
Right. Exactly.
It's because I feel like my passion and my purpose are aligned.
Okay.
I feel like I'm good at this. This is what I do. Like I'm made for this space. Why wouldn't I get up and be thrilled about, like, okay, I'm going to work, and then I'm also like doing these projects, and I gotta do my radio show, and then I'm like going home later on, I'm about to meet this artist and I'm about to have a conversation with them. I'm putting out my reels and everything so I can get more feedback on it. Like I'm built for this space. So like literally it's just the belief in myself that I'm made for this. Plus I just really love life anyway. So.
But I know as in marketing, everybody thinks they are marketers because they have social media on their side. Yeah. But it's like, okay, it's a higher skill level than that.
Girl. Absolutely.
So what do you run into when somebody say, oh, this is your fee, or oh, this is something I can do, and then we all know they can't do it.
Yes.
So when you run into it, what do you say to those type of people with that mindset about marketing?
You know what? That's so accurate on the money, and just that's exactly what goes on with me a lot. And you know what? I'm like a coach as well. Okay. So with my clients, I like people to know what I'm doing, how I'm doing it, because I'm not here forever. You know what I mean?
Got it, yeah.
And I don't like when people rely on people and things. So I try to teach my clients everything that I know so they can kind of, maneuver or function if we depart, separate, God forbid something happened to me, or whatever. Or even something happens to the client, where they can't move, your business still got to keep going.
Right. That's
You know
true.
what I mean? So I do hear that, and I think that I make things look a lot easy, but it's kind of like a cook or a chef, right?
Right.
They cooking, they know what goes in there. But I might tell you, hey, put some salt, you know, put your seasoning,
okay.
put your peppers, but I'm not telling you how much. And you have to taste it to be like, then you're gonna try again. I just can't get this right. Let me just have her make it. And that always happens. They just come back.
They just,
They always come back.
Hey, it's your girl Benita Jelaine, and I'm a singer-songwriter. You can find me everywhere. And this is I forgot what.
You are now watching But First Coffee.
You're watching But First Coffee.
And you are watching But First Coffee.
And you're watching But First Coffee.
And you're watching But First Coffee.
And you're watching But First Coffee.
You are watching But First Coffee.
Okay. And you're watching But First Coffee.
But first, coffee.
But first, coffee.
Not nice.
I'm kind. I choose to treat people well, but I have boundaries that I'm gonna defend with my life. Like, and those boundaries allow me to be sane in amongst all kind of energies and stuff, you know. And so kindness is an awareness that it's all kind of energies, but still choosing to present what you want to, you know, who you want to be known as. Niceness is allowing those energies to impede upon your space. And it's like, no, we got this good little bubble right here. Like, I've had to tell people, like, man, the worst, I hope y'all see this, motherfucker. Like, people that you grew up with or under, and then they see you change, and they feel like their role is to remind you who you used to be.
You are now watching But First Coffee.